Hello, and welcome to another episode of Somewhat Accurate History, a podcast where we vaguely remember the history of various countries. Apparently, Wales is not a country. Tad. We talked about Cortez a little while ago. I don't know, like 2 months ago. I kind of lost track of time because we've been so busy, like, doing nothing.
Okay, speak for yourself, Mr. Man.
Well, I mean, yeah, I will. Because I was like, hey, Tad, want to do a podcast? And Tad's all like, sorry, I'm too busy shitting my pants. Tad,
I do not shit my pants.
I'm gonna puke. Oh. Yeah, that part's real, though.
It's all about how I got puke on both sides of your door, huh? Just really,
yeah, so you know we talked
cool
about that
history podcast, by the way.
Cool history podcast. We've been going for a while, so why don't I fucking open this up with, listen, this piece of shit puked all over my fucking house, so I'm still mad about it. Anyway, let's get right to the episode. So, we talked a while about Cortez. And I wanted to talk about other countries like Russia, because I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, because I have a really fun bit for that. But Tad actually got me curious. What about the rest of the countries that Spain took over? And I was like, I don't actually know that much about the rest of, like, South America. So I want to start digging a little more into it. And we're going to go right into the chronological order of this. We get right into Peru, which was the second stop on this Spanish bullshit. So
what was the first stop again?
That was Mexico. That's where Cortez did his whole thing with the Aztecs and T-posed on him. Now he took over the whole place.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So we're going to go all the way back in time. We're going to go back to 1524. This is when Cortez has taken over the place, and now he's governor of Mexico. And this is before the whole bit where he, tries to make himself king and gets chased out of the country.
Okay.
So, Cortez is up there in his nice little mansion. He's ruling over his Mexicas. And now the Spanish are using Mexico as a new, stopping point for their expeditions. They don't have to go to the fucking islands anymore. So, when they go there, they start exploring all down south, because North America is being taken over by the English and the French, and they're just, out fucking battling Native Americans and shitting their pants to death because of dysentery and shit. So, Spain's doing their own thing. So down there, they sail all the way down south to the to the land that we all know as Peru. A bunch of them to go there. Now, this is just a scouting ship. Just, map shit out, tell people where's what, then to invade later, They go there, and there's all these Peruvians and shit there. And these guys, they were like the Aztecs, where they were kind of weary the whole time. The Peruvians were like, hey, yo, what's up, dude? Yo, it's a fucking white guy. I've never seen these. You gotta let us touch you. Hey, buddy, want some beef jerky?
Hey, white man, can I touch your hair?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, Peru, this is the mountainous area, right?
Yes, we've actually talked about, I've talked about the Peruvians a bunch before, because I think they're really cool, that they're different than us. Okay, that sounds kind of weird. What I mean is that humans have different traits, because we are animals, people will tell you that we are, and Peruvians have, these really fucking strong lungs, because they live up in the mountains, and they can actually live really high up in high altitudes with less oxygen, because their bodies are adapted to that environment. I mentioned them a couple of times before, so we get to talk about them entirely this time. So,
it's kind of like how Polynesian people have...
they retain fat.
Yeah.
Because they lived on islands, they didn't eat that much. So now, thousands and thousands of years later, that they have fast food readily available for $5 a pop, that's why they have a 95% obesity rate, because their bodies weren't adapted to eat that much, fat.
It's like that dude who fucking did that cover of Over the Rainbow. You know the one? He's like a huge 600-pound fat guy with a tiny little ukulele.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why. It's because their bodies are just not meant for that stuff. If you're Polynesian, you unfortunately have to diet yourself way harder. You have to work way harder. It's a damn shame. But anyway, back to the history. All right, so they land there. They get their beef jerky. They're hanging out and everything. This is all going great. They love these guys. So then they leave, and they're like, "Hey guys, down south, there's a bunch of free fucking targets right there. They pretty much want us to take them over."
Okay, at first I thought that was the Peruvians telling them, you should go down there, man. Okay.
No. The Spanish went back to Mexico and told them, hey, this is free targets.
That's like a fucking about face. That was a heel turn.
No. So they hire this guy named Francisco Pizarro to lead an expedition down there and just Cortez it up. Just Cortez the fuck out of that place. Because, now that Cortez did his thing, they actually know that, hey, we don't really need a lot of guys to win.
So Cortez at this point, he was still up there in Mexico, so that's why he didn't go down here and fuck things up.
Yeah, he's governor now. He's busy.
He's going to get kicked out soon, but...
And I think it's about 15 or so years from this point he'll get kicked out. That's when he gets way up his own ass and tries to declare himself king. But as of right now, he's just governor, but he can't go on expeditions because he's leading a country. He's busy now. So they're hiring other guys to go do it. Because let me explain. So, the way a conquistador works is that, hey guys, go down here and your objective is to
survive.
Take over shit. Take over shit for Spain, get new territory and slaves and manpower and shit. Gold and silver, especially the gold part, and spread Christianity with force. So, the reward for this is a share of the loot. And if you're leading the expedition, if you take over a country, you get to be the governor of that country. That's what Cortez did. So that's the rule now. Cortez kind of laid out the ground rules now. So Francisco was a really rich motherfucker. And he wanted to be governor of a fucking new country across the world. That sounds cool as shit. Mm-hmm. So he gets a couple of guys here, right? So he gets fucking, what is his name? He gets Diego and De Soto. His two bromigos. De Soto, who's kind of like his two bromigos. They're Spanish, so I can say that. So, Francisco gets the ships, the fucking manpower. Diego gets all the firepower. And De Soto, he's just kind of there. He's the charismatic one.
He's there for moral support.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, how much loot you get from your share is based on how much you give in. So Francisco, given like all the fucking ships and shit, technically speaking, he would get the biggest amount of loot.
He's going to get like a 40% of whatever the return is because he put in like whatever $6 million would be in like past money.
Yeah. Which, it's important to know that because this is going to come up later.
I said that out loud. Money's money, so ignore what I said.
Yeah. So these guys all go down there to go meet the Peruvians and totally take over the junk. So they land there, and this is a few years later, because remember, shit moved slow back then, because ships took forever to travel to and from places. So they sail there years later, and they go to that village that the guys told them about, where they're having beef jerky and touching their skin and shit, and everyone's gone. It's a ghost town. They found a couple, people, living, nearby, and they get a translator, and what the fuck happened to everybody here? And they're like, didn't you know? Everybody died. Some weird, mysterious disease. Ted, what did those Peruvians do to the white guys earlier? They touched them. They touched the shit out of them, Tad.
White man exists. Every single native person. Just fucking graveyard.
Yeah, pretty much. It just Thanos snap and they all just turn to fucking ash. So, little did the Spanish know that they basically already won by using accidental biowarfare.
Very cool.
But this is just the first couple of coastal regions. There's still way more Peruvians up in the mountains still living and doing their thing. And this is where we get to meet this guy named Atahualpa. Atahualpa. He is the Sapa Inca. That's basically their big chieftain king guy.
Okay.
So he just got out of a civil war with his fucking brother, and he's still kind of pissed from that. Then he sees all these fucking disease-ridden white people land on his shore, and he does not like that. Not like that whatsoever. But he knows that he can't just fight them. That's kind of a bad idea.
I was going to make a really funny joke where it's Atahualpa, and then his brother was Atamaca. But then you just kept on going. Because I was making a funny fast food joke, and then you just kept talking, so...
I don't know what that means.
Like a Big Mac. See, it's really funny, because I have to explain it, because it's not a very good joke.
Dude, comedy. So fucking... Atahualpa tries to send gifts to these guys to get them out of here. Because the way the Incas work is that the Sapa Inca gives you a gift, and if you spurn that gift, that means war. And if you take that gift... That also means, oh, I understand. You're trying to tell me to go away. All right, I'll leave. The Spanish don't know what the fuck that means. It's different culture, Tad. They say, oh, okay, I got it, and you walk away. That's the point. The Spanish don't know that. They're like, oh, gifts. They must want us to come closer. All right. So they just keep coming. So I want to point this out. That remember how we mentioned Cortez managed to do all that shit with like 200 guys, and then the fucking 1,000 reinforcements he got from the fucking stupid guys who were supposed to be his cops, but they weren't.
Yeah.
Francisco's got 168 dudes. He has even less dudes. So they go up to meet this guy. Atahualpa's getting pissed. Fuck these people. And so they meet up, and they're just talking. Everything's going okay. He's got a translator that can kind of speak the language, sorta. But what the Spanish are doing a shitload of microaggressions while they talk to him because they don't know the culture. So it's like, here's some chicha beer, bro. Which is, every culture has to have some kind of alcohol, Tad.
What was theirs made out of?
Some bullshit.
It's made out of llama fur.
Yes.
Is that what they had? No, it was alpacas.
Yeah. No, they had llamas. Oh, but
it's made out of mountain grass or something. I don't know.
Emperor's New Groove is the Inca movie. So whenever you think of the Inca, just picture a random character from the background character from Emperor's New Groove. That's what these people look like.
The entirety of his culture dying to disease. It's a skeleton Pacha doing the hand thing.
Yes. But, he's like, here's some chicha beer, bro. And they drink it, they just spill it all over themselves, which is a huge insult. So he just, like, clutches fucking poncho all mad. Like, the little shit like that. So the Spanish are trying to, because again, much like Cortez, they are surrounded and outnumbered. Even if you have 168 guys with armor and guns, they still have, like, who knows how many with, like, spears and shit, right?
Because this is their fucking house.
Yeah, so they want to take it over, but they gotta do it right, just like Cortez.
They just gotta start coughing on everything.
Yeah, pretty well. They don't know biowarfare yet, because this is the 1500s. But Francisco has this really deep desire to be just like Cortez. He really wants to be like his fucking Cortez senpai. He wants to just take over this whole country with a small amount of guys, have some cool fucking story, and just fucking be a goddamn governor. But he's kind of scared about being so outnumbered. He has no idea how Cortez did it, so he's trying to do this without just immediately resorting to bloodshed. I mean, after all, that's what Cortez did, right? He planned, right? So he's standing around looking around and shit.
He definitely planned.
Yeah, he just got really lucky. So he goes in there. They go to this fucking place called Cajamarca. They go to meet the guy once again to get this all settled out. Because they don't like the Spanish. The Spanish are very clearly after some shit. Because Atahualpa was kind of pissed off because he learned something on their second visit. While the Spanish were on their way, over here, they were just capturing random fucking Incas and just putting them into slave camps so that they could work for the Spanish Empire. Atahualpa's like, that's bullshit, you're putting my people in chains, why should I ever listen to you? Francisco's like, we've got guns?
I was about to say, he's like, let me convince you. As he cocks his musket or whatever fucking rifles they were using.
So the Spanish missionary there is like, hold it, we can't resort to violence just yet. Let me talk to them. So the missionary guy who's in his little like priest robe, his little like the bald spot shaved in his head, pulls in his little translator. They come up, he's like, hey buddy, check out this book. He gives him a Bible. This book contains the word, or the voice of God. And Atahualpa has never seen a fucking book before. The Incas don't write shit. The Incas use string to fucking jot things down.
Really?
Yeah, this is really cool. You've probably seen it. So they make this, it's called like a fucking quipo or something. I'm going to totally butcher that, so sorry for the Peruvian listeners in here. Quipo. It's quipo.
A quipo. So do you mean like they weave like tapestries and stuff?
Yes. They don't weave tapestries. They take like a bunch of knots. Like it's almost like rope, but it's tiny, so it's string,
Yeah.
So like, you know how like a sun ray is, like with like a circle and like the sunbeams coming out? They do have like a kind of like a half circle and just strings in like different directions with different knots put in different things that are supposed to read things. And this is how they measure and jot things down.
So it's almost like a weird fancy form of Braille, right? Where you got all these different knots that you kind of go down and feel it.
Essentially. So you'd be like, oh, I'm going to trade you 3 llamas and you're going to give me 4 fucking, I don't know, pieces of stone. They're like, all right, let me just measure that in my fucking kupu here, or whatever the fuck it is called, kipu here. And all right, cool. Or they'd allegedly they would be able to jot down like history and shit too, but I don't know how true that is, because I've heard like they have no history because the Incas forget everything. Then other times they were able to record things of various Sapa Incas with the quipo. Like my favorite is they're reading one is like, let's look at the previous Sapa Inca records here. Oh my, what does the knot say? Apparently he had a nice cock. Perfect length.
Nice cock.
Nice 80-degree angle. Pushing the hair a bit, though, but yeah, you can work with that.
Alex, you didn't even try for the croc voice. Whoa. Nice cock.
Whoa. Nice cock.
Nice coat. I better, Kuzco says put this in the kupu. So, just gonna put this in right here. We're gonna overwrite this part about mandatory education and, trying to reinstate a new, learning system.
She's filling the knots. Apparently, he rated it an 8.5 out of 10 and gave the comment, "Good job, kiddo."
Fuck off.
Okay, anyway, I had to throw that in there. So anyway, they didn't write shit. And they didn't record a lot of history because, fun fact, the Incas weren't even the first civilization in their territory. They just built their city on top of someone else's. And when they were asked, who used to live here before? They said, They just didn't write anything down.
The string doesn't go that far back. It goes as far back to Kuzco's huge dick.
Yeah. The minute you don't teach history, you just build over someone else's city and forget about it.
Like the city of Troy. Here's a fun fact. There's like 14 different cities on top of where people think Troy used to be.
Yep. So Atahualpa takes this book, opens it up, puts it to his ear, says, "There's no voice in this. You lied to me," and throws the book down. The priest fucking screams, "Heresy! He's a heretic!" And runs off. And then just bang, 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 bang. All the fucking guns start fucking firing at once and killing everyone in this fucking area. Atahualpa fucking practically shits his pants because he doesn't know what a fuking gun is.
And then he pulls the lever and falls down his trapdoor, right?
Almost. So what happens is, So the Sapa Incas are carried on this fucking, like, kind of like throne with, like, handles, on one of those things?
Like, one of those, plantiers? No, like a plinth? I don't know. A plantier is a Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah, he tries to run back to that, but all of his carriers were dead, and I guess walking was just not in his fucking vocabulary.
So he just sits in the fancy chair?
He just sits in the fancy chair waiting to die, so...
Conquistadors? Carry me.
Conquistadors? So what they do is they go over to Atahualpa
and they just pick him up and they throw him off a cliff.
They ignore him. They rip all the gold off of his fucking throne, then run off with it, and then they capture him. And then all of his soldiers that he brought with him, they just ran away. They just ran for the fucking hills. Because here's the thing. One of them ran up to a conquistador, hit him with the axe, tink, it snaps in half. Because remember, conquistadors may have had guns, but they still wore steel armor. You've seen the conquistador look, they had like the big chest plate and the helmet and shit.
Yeah, so they don't know what the fuck this white man's got going on. Oh shit, he broke my... I'm gonna leave.
Just, oh shit, our weapons are powerless. So they scream, they run, they capture Atahualpa, and initially they were actually gonna straight up kill him. Like in the kerfuffle. But then, Francisco Pizarro jumps in front of him and takes the sword for him in his shoulder. Francisco saves Atahualpa, and he says, "No, not this one. He's too useful." So this is important, because this forms a weird little bond between the two of them. Because Atahualpa just got saved by this guy.
Yeah, because he ordered all of his men to kill him.
Listen, Tad, people are complicated, okay? So anyway, now that they have the leader... They essentially won, and they call this a battle. Not a single Spanish guy got wounded except for Francisco, which was friendly fire, technically. So, now they have the leader. They hold up in this little fucking, like, house, much like the Montezuma thing, and they just sit there and they're interrogating him. So, they're like, okay, here's how this is gonna go. We want lots of gold. Shitloads of it. And Atahualpa's like, oh, that's easy. Fucking could have just fucking asked.
You gotta go to this city down here called El Dorado.
Almost. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. I'll get to that part in a second. He's like, here, follow me. He gets in this big
Follow
square
me.
room.
Snap, snap. And then he commands the conquistadors to pick him up on his stupid plinth.
I imagine the character, because he was like tied up, but like see this room right here? It was like a big square room. If you let me continue leading my people, I will fill this room twice over with silver and once over with gold. And then the conquistador is like, duh, okay, sure, if you insist, buddy. And so they still have him like on lockdown. They're pointing their guns and fucking shit at him. But now he's letting like guys come in, telling them orders and letting them lead. So he's still kind of leading the people. So this goes on for 8 months with him just bringing in servants, telling them what to do, leading the people through this and filling up that room full of fucking valuables and shit. The conquistadors are decently happy with this. It's keeping them complacent. And so what Atahualpa was really doing is he's like, get like 8,000 guys and position them over here. Okay, cool. You, 2,000 guys up on the hill. Yeah, he's just getting like an army together to fucking like bust his ass out. Yeah, he's plotting some shit. And also during this is that Francisco and Atahualpa are just talking about life and shit. And they're playing like fucking chess and shit together. They're kind of becoming buddies. Kind of. Like they still don't like each other. But Francisco's kind of liking the guy a little bit. He's got this kind of like, it's like a weird like Stockholm syndrome almost going on. So, the fucking, after a little while, the gold's all here. Everyone's splitting their shares, but Diego, remember I mentioned him earlier, the guy, the grumpy one with the manpower? He gets only a tiny little share. He thinks that's bullshit. He deserves a way bigger share than that. And
because he didn't put that much in at the start of the expedition, right?
No, he didn't contribute like a bunch of ships and everything. So technically speaking, he got his fair share in air quotes. But when you're out when you've been living for months upon months in some random jungle, remember this is South America, and these hills and these jungles, you're grumpy. There's mosquitoes everywhere, and you've been fighting and shit.
Shitting everywhere. There's fucking mosquitoes all over you.
So you get your little pile of gold, and meanwhile Francisco's got like fat fucking stacks jingling on his belt. Yeah, you get a little grumpy, right?
You keep taking grumpy dumpies because you're dysentery.
De Soto is also kind of grumpy. He kind of wants a little more of a share too. And so now, even though they're still technically in the middle of like an enemy like war zone, they're starting to get pissed off and forming their own factions with each other. Like, hey, I'm with Diego, and I want more fucking gold. Oh, yeah, I'm with De Soto, and fuck both of you. And Francisco's like, guys, for the love of fucking God, not right now. We got Atahualpa, you don't need to fucking do anything, alright? And De Soto's like, man, that fucking guy's plotting against you anyway, man, fuck that guy. He's not plotting against me. Are you? And he's like, Atahualpa's, for whatever reason, is like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Guess you have to find out later. And Diego and fucking Francisco's like, oh, bro, don't tell me my bro's fucking gonna fucking betray me, bro. Bro, not like this, bro.
Even after we went on all those adventures.
Because they did. There was this fun little story of the two of them. So I was telling them they were playing chess. Francisco was, again, still like having him like tied up with like a gun to Atahualpa's head. They're like just like looking around the town and shit. And there was this big statue of the Earth God. And a bunch of priests there, like, chanting. And Francisco just fucking hated the Inca religion more than anything in the fucking world. It pissed him off seeing these fucking heretics. So he ordered his men up the mountain, push the statue off the fucking hill, and grab all the priests and throw them off the fucking hill, too, and kill all of them.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
Atahualpa thought that was the tightest shit. You know why? Because those earth priests told Atahualpa that he would lose the civil war to his brother. So the fact that they were wrong and they were all murdered made him so fucking happy.
I'm just imagining a series of like Incan like Polaroids, because obviously they had that technology. We lost it. That was actually from the third civilization, and they're just having a gay old time. He's still wrapped up in iron chains.
No, like
they fucking got a Snapchat filter on, pushed over these dumbasses statue. Hashtag not so rock solid.
They're on a roller coaster together, like they're like yeah, like smiles on their face.
And he's in the back, and he's just fucking tied up.
No. Francisco's next to him. They're both smiling, happy for like the log ride picture, but he's still like wrapped up with a gun next to him. He's still, like,
they recreate the fucking melee thing, and they're playing melee on Smash Mountain, but it's their fucking chess game.
Yeah. So
we're best friends, except one of us is bound in chains and has a gun pointed at his head, kind of like you and me.
Yes. So Francisco is thinking about all the good times, but he has to know for sure. Again, he puts the gun back at him. Tell me the truth, bro. Are you conspiring another army against us? And he's like, yes, I'm sorry, bro, but I really don't like you white people fucking coming to my land and taking all my fucking gold. And he's like, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Got an old yeller your ass. He puts the gun away. He can't do that. So he offers him a choice. He can either be burned as a heretic at the stake.
Okay, so what's the other choice?
Or he could convert to Christianity and be strangled. And so Atahualpa was thinking about this choice for a second, because on one hand he doesn't want to be Christian because he got his own religion.
Why strangled? What does it have to do with Christianity?
Strangled. He just didn't want to shoot him for some reason. He didn't have the heart to do it. He'll do this way more brutal thing, though.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, hold up. So he was thinking about this. You see, the way the Incas work is that when a Sapa Inca dies, they don't die in air quotes.
I'm guessing they get written into the store. They get written into the string.
No, what they do is they take the dead body of the Sapa Inca, go way up into the top of the mountains where it's all snowy, fucking have it petrify up there and turn into a fucking snow mummy, then bring that fucking now mummified corpse to the Sapa Inca and have it continue to lead. Because death is not the end. It is simply a transformation. So you might be thinking, wait, that's kind of crazy. Yes, it is. So here's how this works.
So wait, won't you just fucking start rotting on the throne?
Well, you've been mummified thanks to the environment. It's the fucking Inca mountains are fucking nuts. They do this weird thing to your body up there where now you're like just a scalified like mummy where your skin's like sunken in. And you're just like that. You're just like that now, like forever. They put you in
I see what you mean. It's like it like dehydrates you, and then you just
dries you out. You become like you basically become human, like cold jerky.
You're fucking freeze dried. You're human. You've been freeze dried.
Yeah, basically. So you have like a cross-legged position. Your arms over yourself. You still wear your throne. You still wear your little hat. You're on like a throne, and they will carry you around and still act as if you're the ruler. And advisors would simply, like, listen to you and give orders, a.k.a. they're the ones actually running the fucking show. But here's the important thing. Because they're not dead, they never give up their property. So, like, technically, the previous Sapa Inca still owns the old land and his old temple. So Atahualpa lives in a different one in a different city.
You're gonna run out of real estate eventually.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem with that system. And they were kind of figuring that out. Atahualpa was figuring that part out really the hard way. But, the Spanish came and kind of fixed a lot of that. So anyway, so he's thinking, well, I would like to be mummified, so yeah, strangle me, please. Strangle me good. Strangle me something fierce, daddy. And Francisco takes out his fucking piano string and just fucking kills him. And Francisco had a heavy heart while doing that. But Diego and DeSoto are like, it was okay, bro. It was the right thing to do. Tad, this was the wrong thing to do. Because without their leader, the fucking Peruvians got pissed. Because even though he was captured, they were still technically, leading them, right?
Yeah. He's
gone now. And Atahualpa's brother was killed earlier, too, for also trying to start another shit while he was captured. So now, the kings are dead. They're like, okay, hold on. We'll get you an heir. Look, this guy's related to Atahualpa. Everything was he's dead. Because he died of smallpox.
Whoops. No way we could have avoided that. I don't know how it happened.
Okay, hold up, guys.
1 in a million shot, Doc.
Hold up, guys. We got another guy. He will be our puppet. He'll be our puppet king, and he'll do whatever we tell him. Hey, wait, what do you mean he's thinking for himself? Stop that! Hey, guys, I'm gonna go form my own country. Peruvians rule, yeah! And he runs off and forms his own country.
It's Peru, too. Per two.
So he leads more Peruvians, aka Incas, just live away and just be happy and be Peruvians still.
They just go another 50 feet up the mountains.
Like, what are they gonna do? Because remember what I said earlier, when the Spanish tried to live up in Kuzco, they couldn't because they couldn't breathe up there. So those guys just run up a fucking mountain and just chill up there. So he's like, okay, we'll find another ruler. And the fucking Peruvians are like, nope, no more of this bullshit. Fuck you, we're gonna kill all 168 of you. Let's fucking do this. So they have to do another fucking battle. And so this takeover, this easy takeover, this whole thing I'm telling you, Tad, this takes over the course of 40 fucking years to actually fucking put down all the resistance and finally take over Peru.
Oh, wow. Didn't Cortez do his dumb shit in like 3 weeks?
It was a couple months, but yeah, he did his fast. Like, this is every single time. This is just making Francisco sweat more because what happens is like every time they fight and win, Diego is just like, so where's my share? De Soto is kind of like complacent. He kind of gets around and helps Pizarro out, but Diego, he never chills out. He's always grumpy about shit.
He's the Yzma in this scenario.
Pretty much, he always wants fucking more. So we're gonna time jump a tiny bit. So after
to the year 2055.
After finally beating the shit out of the Peruvians enough, this is not the 40 years, this is like about, I want to say like 15 or so years in. After all this, they finally like have enough to like take over the place and call it their own country, which they call it Peru. And they tell the Spanish king, okay, we did it. We took over the joint. Now can I please be governor? And the king's like, all right, you know what? Yeah, Pizarro, I will make you governor of southern Peru. And Diego, you'll be the governor of northern Peru, because this is a pretty big country. That way you guys could have equal power. Which, obviously, this is not going to go very well because of the two's rivalry. But then they ask the question,
immediately going to start fighting.
Wait a minute, where's the border with Kuzco? And he's like, what? Which one of us owns Kuzco, which was the former capital? And the king says, I'm sure you guys will figure that out. And so Francisco and Diego look at each other, and they start getting their fucking swords ready. So now they have a civil war together. They start beating the shit out of each other, while the Peruvians, aka the Incas, take this opportunity to start another fucking rebellion and try to fight in this like three-way fucking slugfest. De Soto at this point just bailed. He went back to Spain with his money. He called it. He's out of there.
You guys need to fucking leave this team fight. I'm going back. I gotta buy.
Yeah, he used TP and escaped that engagement with like 10 HP. He's out. So these guys are just slapping the shit out of each other. Like Incas would come like, hey, we want fucking freedom. Francisco would just pull out a gun, bam, just shoot them once. Then go back to slap over to fucking Diego. This goes on for so long that Francisco finally wins, kills Diego, has the entirety of Peru under his control, but then Diego's son, Diego Jr., says, no, fuck you, I'm continuing this war, give my father the fucking rights he deserves, give him his land, and so he starts fighting Francisco also, and Francisco's like, oh my fucking god, why won't this just fucking end? This was supposed to be smooth. He's like an old fucking man at this point. Like, he wanted to be Cortez, but now he's just an anus. He's worn out, he's ragged, and his fucking friend Diego Jr. fucking charges his fucking governor's mansion. Francisco does a last stand, kills 3 guys, stabs a dude, but his sword gets caught in the fucking dude's ribcage, and then the Diego Jr.'s men take the opportunity just to fucking mow him down with guns, and then Francisco drops down dead, and in some fucking weird movie moment, fucking says, Jesus Christ, and draws a cross with his own fucking blood and then dies. That might have been romanticized by a Francisco Pizarro man. But anyway, he is now dead. Now Diego Jr. rules Peru. That took 40 years. And it was a real pain in the ass. Because unlike the Mexica, who just got really fucked over. Because remember, Cortez got lucky and got reinforcements and also had a bunch of turncoats. Francisco managed to piss every Peruvian off along the way, so nobody really wanted to help him. And then his own men wanted more fucking gold, so they would all start fucking bitching at each other. He wanted to be like Cortez and just kept fucking up because he didn't actually know how lucky Cortez really got in that whole situation.
Yeah, he didn't understand the Cortez plan, which was, God damn, I got lucky.
Man, sure would be nice if we get a bunch of fucking turncoats on a ship right about now. Also, I totally forgot to mention this in the episode, and I had a joke for it planned with Cortez, is that one of the things that had Cortez stranded there was that he burnt one of his own ships down to keep his men from escaping.
Yeah.
He pulled an Arthas.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to mention that. I had a whole joke for it planned with Cortez. It's like, where Murden says, Cortez, how could you burn down your men's ship like that? And Cortez fucking turns to him and says, I'll do anything to stop Melganis. Yeah, but I forgot that. But anyway, so Francisco is a very interesting character because you can see where he tried to be a little more peaceful initially, but he just kept fucking up. A lot of them, some of the early ones weren't necessarily his fault, like the beer thing or the gift thing. He didn't know any better. But yeah, he fucked up hard. And So I know how I said Spanish and Mexican culture kind of fused into its own thing, and now it's the Mexican culture we know. Peruvians, aka the Incas, never gave up. Because of that puppet king, and because of Francisco de Soto and Diego constantly being assholes all the time, and like burning all their shit down, they just got resilient. They dug in about how fucking cool the Inca are, and their culture never died. If you go down to Peru, they still have like ponchos and the weird hats and shit, and they still do ceremonies with they do recreations of the ceremonies with the like mummified fucking beef jerky kings.
Ooh.
They are proud as fuck, and Spain had like no control over them.
Wait, didn't you say way back when they first got there, they had like beef jerky and shit?
Yeah. They're actually, if I recall correctly, just, oh man, the last stop Inca tastes great. Oh. Okay, so this might have felt shorter because I have a bonus thing to make this longer. I really want to talk about this, a bonus. So, during that 40-year span, they were still having more Spanish guys travel all over the place and look for more fucking shit to take over, right?
Yes.
So, now that we're talking about Peru and Diego and Francisco's little rivalry, now we're going to talk about the very fun thing that everyone who wants to learn about South America is going to hear about. El Dorado. So, during this whole thing, specifically in 1536, because remember, this all started in 1524, and then went on to like 1570.
Yikes.
1530, I think they landed in 1534, and then ended in like 1572 or something, so like just under 40 years. But in 1536, while they're like, after they like kind of established in air quotes themselves in Peru, they have more guys just travel on land looking through like the jungles for fucking shit. They hear a legend of El Hombre Dorado.
What does hombre mean? Does that mean friend?
It means man. It is the Golden Man. They hear about this guy and like, who the fuck? A man made entirely of gold? Well, we gotta get us some of that. So the conquistadors find this fucking place. These people called the Muisca. These guys live up in this fucking lake. And these guys have a really weird kind of society where rather than like being a hereditary king or like a Sapa Inca, it's actually like the first son of the uncle becomes the next ruler of the Muisca. And they do this weird ceremony where they paint the guy in gold dust and he jumps into the lake and like, you know, cleanses all the gold off of him and becomes the ruler. And that's the Golden Man. And what these guys also do is they get all these golden statues and idols of their gods and throw them into the river. Now, the conquistadors see this, and Overly Sarcastic did a fun bit on this, and I'm going to just steal their joke. The conquistadors have two lines of thought. Line number one, I get it. These guys don't use gold as currency, they just barter with goods, so this has no real value to them the same way we do. Or two, these savages have so much gold they'll willingly discard it into a lake. That means they have even more of it somewhere, and we better go take that by force. Guess which one they picked, Tad?
I think they picked the one where they put giant nets underneath the waterfall to try and catch the golden idols. And then left them peacefully alone. Oh no, they just made them drown in the river?
They assert their T-pose and asserted their dominance pretty hard over the Muisca very fast. They're just like, yep. That's ours now. I mean, out of here. Everyone out of here. Out of this lake. This lake is called, let me try to pronounce this correctly, Guatavita.
Okay.
So, in Guatavita, they shove everyone, like, give us your gold. They take all the fucking gold idols, they fucking just shove them in their fucking bags. They fucking shake down the gold dust off of the fucking Golden Man. And so just shaking him. They're like, alright, this is like his art.
Whipping him like a fucking towel. Just whoosh.
Just scrunch him, squeeze all the gold juice out of him. Like, all right, everyone out of here. All right, boys, we now have Lake Guatavita for ourselves. How do we get all this gold? Like, what? What I'm doing? He fucking dives into the lake, and he's like, I can't hold my breath for that long. Oh, fuck, dude, okay, this is a deep-ass fucking lake. And one guy's like, wait a minute, guys. I've got an idea. Like, what? What if we just took buckets and dumped all the water out?
Are you fucking kidding me?
The conquistadors were not very smart, Ted. Remember, these guys were just like mercenaries and pirates who were offered gold. They weren't all rich nobles like Pizarro.
So how big is this lake?
It's not like Lake Michigan or nothing, but it's really big. It's big. It's not like a pond you're gonna find out in a fucking out in the street. This is a big lake.
So Alex, I take it this was a resounding success and it definitely worked?
Unironically, yes.
Oh,
they
fuck
managed
off.
Hold up. They got, because these guys are hungry for gold. They're like, one. Well, like take a bucket, pass it to the next guy, bucket, next guy, bucket, and they lowered it by 10 entire fucking feet.
Holy
that's not that
shit.
much that's a decent amount for a lake, but there's a lot of gold in the edge of that lake, and they just grabbed all that shit, put it in their bags, and they got, I want to say it was like, I didn't write the numbers down, it was like $80,000 worth of gold, which back then, before inflation, was a shitload. These guys were loaded. Now this was a huge mistake, though, because this made everyone else think they can get a lot of gold out of that lake, too.
Yeah.
So, over the next, 200 years, people go to this fucking lake, and they will do anything to get the gold at the bottom of that lake. Because here's the thing about gold, Tad. Gold is non-corrosive. Which means it can stay underwater for 1,000 years and it'll still be good.
It'll never
So all
rust.
that gold is still worth a lot of fucking money.
That's why pirate treasure is was such a big thing. It could just be at the bottom of the ocean in salt water and it's Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to fight. I mean, typically you're gonna have to fight like a giant octopus to get it, but
so there's a lot of comedic shit. Every conquistador and every company for the next 200 years tries a different strategy. Buckets. They try just diving down. They try putting on a fucking diving suit and going down there.
Wait,
they try
guys,
putting on...
wait. What if we take the bucket and flip it upside down and breathe through it? Oh, look, he died. They're trying to Wile E. Coyote their way through this.
A lot of it's stuck in the fucking mud and shit. It's heavy. You can't just... It's gonna take too slow to get, one piece of fucking statue every time, right?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of it's in, the center, which is really deep down. So, I'm gonna skip to my favorite. This is in, the 1800s. A guy gets an idea. Calls himself, the company for extracting gold out of Lake Guatavita. A very straightforward title.
Very narrow goal.
Him and all of his boys get together. He's like, all right, guys.
Guys, we got all these giant buckets.
No, I've got a thing. It's a super bucket. It's a hydro pump. We're gonna pump all the water out of the lake and just pick up all the gold.
I was joking he was going to do this. Is the 1800s.
They wanted that gold hard. So, I don't know what the pump looked like because they dn't have photos back then, but I imagine it was like a
I know
hand
what the pump
crank.
looked like. It was just a guy with a hose trying to siphon it out.
They're all right, boys, let's do it. They're pumping the fucking dig dug, just pumping this shit out of the fucking water, sucking it all out, just dumping that water everywhere, shrinking the lake down, and this is working. Yeah, it's working. I can practically smell the gold now. We're doing it. And here's the funny thing about how lakes work. So, the fucking rainforest sun, the horrible, powerful sun, because they're near the equator, beams down on this now completely waterless lake. Well, I mean, it's half lake. It's half empty at this point. Turns all that muck into cement.
Yeah.
And now nobody can get the gold, because it's cemented into the fucking earth. So, he gets about $10,000 worth of gold, which now with inflation isn't worth that much. His company goes bankrupt, and he mysteriously disappears. I think he got some mafia shit involved in that. Now he's dead.
Now he's got concrete gold shoes. He's just at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, he's in the dead center of it now. So now the government that lives in that owns that fucking area is like, okay, guys, this is a protected fucking site. This is sacred. For the love of God, don't fucking go to this goddamn lake. We're warning you. There's still a lot of gold in there, but you will be shot on sight if you try to go down there and pull some conquistador shit now. But even before that, you might be thinking, okay, so that was Dorado. The Golden Man, the Golden Lake, duh. No, Tad, these are the conquistadors we're talking about. They didn't give up at the Golden Man. They just stayed there, but more conquistadors thought, wait a minute, if we found the Gold Man immediately, that must mean there's even more somewhere else.
God, what is wrong with these people?
They were conquistadors, Dad. So these guys go on these.
I'm just thinking of the conquistador with the fucking coon face. I'm gonna find gold.
Yes, these guys were one-track minds, so they have their armor, their little hats, and they're just running around the rainforest in every direction possible, looking for any kind of gold whatsoever. And the locals that lived there were feeding into this. You see, they couldn't
Hey,
fight.
watch what I can do to this white man. Hey, conquistador, there's some gold in that snake den. Ooh.
You say that, but that's what they actually did. See,
He fucking jumps in there. You ever see that fucking like that fucking weebum or gif of those Russian dudes where he just dives into the marshy water? That's the fucking conquistador jumping into a pile of snakes.
Yeah, so the locals knew they couldn't fight the fucking guys. They have armor and guns, right? But they can let the environment do it. So they'd be like, hey, conquistador, you see Death Valley down there where thousands of people have died in the sacred burial site? Uh-huh. Legend says there's a whole heap and pile of gold underneath that temple. Okay! So the conquistadors would run in there and just get fucking murdered by, like, snakes or dysentery. Or they would just or they just get lost in the woods and starve. They're like, hey, you're one of the conquistadors, right? He's like, yes I am. You hear any gold stories? Like, well, yes, actually. While I was fishing, I was talking to my cousin who knew a guy who said, 3 clicks that way, 2 caboose down the river, there's a pile of gold somewhere that someone left by, possibly. Conquistador were like, ooh, I can practically smell it already! And runs off into some...
Yeah, sprints off into the distance.
Yeah, sprints up and falls off a fucking cliff and dies. So, this spread these guys out all fucking over the place. But I actually have a fun little story about this gold chasing right here. There's a guy named Gonzalo Pizarro, Francisco's brother.
The Pizza Brothers. The Pizarro
Yes.
brothers.
So, this guy hears of a story called the Valley of Gold.
Now,
Now, you
hold
might be thinking...
Hold on a second.
Now, you might be thinking, that sounds like bullshit. Oh, it was. But the guy's like, there's this beautiful valley filled with gold and also cinnamon. You guys would love it there. You should just go down this river.
It's filled with gold and also, what do white people like? Cinnamon? Yeah, it's got cinnamon. And also, Super Nintendo Carts of Earthbound. Yeah, pasty white people love that shit.
So go down this river and you'll eventually find this beautiful valley. So Gonzalo's like, oh boy, can't wait to make my brother proud. He's gonna be governor of Peru. So they sail down there and they just can't fucking find this place. He sets up camp and he's like, okay, this river splits off. I want you this way, you that way, and you this way. Come back, you find the fucking valley of cinnamon and gold. So one of his grunts goes down this river and while they're like halfway through it, all these fucking ladies start chucking spears at him. They're like, fuck, oof, my bow and spears, like what the fuck with these crazy fucking warrior chicks? They're like the Amazons from Greek legend. I know, I'll call this the Amazon River. That's why it's called the Amazon River, because a bunch of warrior women pissed off a bunch of conquistadors. And they got their asses kicked, too. Surprisingly, they didn't fight back for some reason, because they only had like 10 guys, so they got scared and ran away.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just women. That's not gold.
So, they got dunked on, and they never found the Valley of Gold, but another guy named Pedro comes in. Pedro comes down the river, and he's like, okay, we can find this Valley of Gold and cinnamon. This is like 1560. This is like way after that story should have been confirmed to be bullshit. He's like, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find this sweet cinnamon everywhere. So after like a while of not finding it, he's like, okay, I give up. But I gotta get rid of these conquistadors. Because these guys are just assholes, and they're gonna get rowdy if they don't find any gold. Okay, you know what, guys? I got an idea. He makes up a story. Go down this river. I found a lead of gold. Just get out of here. They're like, oh boy. So he wanted them to die, so he didn't have to pay them. So what they do is they find a bunch of people, and they just murder everything in their path, trying to find gold. Pedro accidentally committed a bunch of genocide by sending his dudes in one direction.
Whoops.
Whoopsie doodles. So,
oopsie poopsie, I committed genocide.
So, moral of the story is, they didn't find any, the lesson is, there was no fucking gold past the Golden Man. However, they did find some really valuable material called platinum. They found shitloads of platinum in the Amazon rainforest. They found shit everywhere. There's all this fucking platinum. This stuff is great. You know what platinum was worth back in the 1500s, Tad?
Basically nothing.
Nothing, because it was just fake silver. Who cares? Throw that shit in the fucking ocean.
You know what we should do to the Amazon, Alex? We should just fucking chop that shit down and burn it to try to get all this cool fake silver. They're hiding fucking gold in the Amazon, Alex. Fuck it, get rid of it.
There's probably gold underneath this platinum. So this platinum, they sent all this platinum back to Spain, and Spain was like, whoa, hang on, guys. You can make counterfeit silver coins out of platinum. We don't want this much platinum. They took their platinum reserves and dumped it all in the ocean. Tad, platinum is the most valuable material in the world right now. I bet Spain is still reeling from this decision. Do you know why they made this decision, Tad? Because they wanted more gold, not platinum. It is comedic about how stupid.
Gold!
Oh, gold! They're like digging through. They find like valuable historical artifacts. Toss it. Platinum. Toss it. Human rights. Toss it. Gold. Gold. They're just digging through the dirt.
What's this? El Silverado? Nah, I don't need that shit. Break it with a hammer. Throw the map away. Eat it.
So yeah, the conquistadors were fucking stupid, and they ended up destroying their economy, 500 years later. Good job, conquistadors. But hey, they got a bunch of territories that they lost control of because all those people, over the course of hundreds of years, just rebelled and declared independence, this way and that way. The only thing they really got out of it was Mexico, really. Cortez was kind of the only successful one.
Not only did they fuck their economy, lose all those territories, they also killed thousands of people for absolutely nothing except some more gold
and fake silver in air quotes.
Yeah, what a great organization of people.
Yeah, the Spanish conquistadors were a bunch of shit posters, a bunch of shitheads, a bunch of fucking goomers. Oh, I'm gonna get gold. Oh, I'm goomy. Francisco was certainly not Cortez. He tried, and he was an absolute bumbling idiot.
Imagine if someone was doing this exact same thing, but in a drier climate, and the gold was liquid and black. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Wouldn't that be great if we just disabled an economy and totally fucked over a government status, creating a power vacuum and causing tons of rebellion? That'd be great. Good thing that never happens in the modern day. We have all learned from history, and we are totally not still greedy motherfuckers who will destroy everything in their paths for the sake of fucking money.
Anyway, so that was a fun episode, Alex.
I'm glad you liked it. I wasn't really into South American history, but this shit was a lot of fun to look up, and just seeing how these guys were I just liked how Pizarro was trying so hard to be like Cortez, and just without realizing the nuance of how to be a successful conquistador, aka get lucky. Now, all the other conquistadors in the fucking world were just absolute idiots.
How many of them showed up and then just got murdered?
I don't know the entire total, because remember, Pizarro had 168 guys exactly in his crew, but over the course of all these, because remember, it took 40 years to take over Peru. Over those 40 years, they were going to other countries and taking them over, going to other lands and finding gold and shit. Over the course of 40 years, probably a few hundred. I'm not gonna make a giant number 1,000, because most of the time they would just starve or something, or just given up and left like Pedro did. Uh-huh. But a lot of them died, and hey, credits to the native people in South America. They were smart. They would just lie and point them into death traps, so they would just die to the environment. That kept their people safe, and also kept their hands free of all the blood. Because hey, it was just all the spiders and poisonous shit that lives down there. Because remember, there's a lot of fucking poisonous shit that lives down in South America.
It feels almost like those Greek stories where someone would use their wits and their wiles to escape from a bad situation, It feels very Greek in that aspect. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
So how do we do? How should we do an outro on this, Alex?
So I hope you enjoyed this somewhat accurate history, and I hope I covered enough of the important details for people to enjoy. Now, a lot of me is just shitposting, kind of, flubbing details here and there to make it a little more entertaining. I highly recommend you look into the real history behind these things you can find on actual official sources, and don't be like the Incas who just don't learn or write anything down and just kind of forget what they were doing for 1,000 years.
Yeah, that's why. And Alex taught me this, and I'm going to teach this to you. Eagle-eyed listener, always take screenshots of the games you play, because if you don't record it, it's like it never even happened. Oh, and also, you know what else you can do? That'd be very, very useful and smart to do, Alex? Find the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play. Follow us on Twitter. There's a Discord. There's a Patreon. All that cool stuff. On the website, which is letmetellyyouabout.com, or... No, wait. No, that's not the... What is the URL? I know there's let me tell you about .moe. I don't remember the other one. I think it's lmtya.com. I'll have to double check on that. But
Wasn't it like $3,000? Did you actually buy that domain?
no, I did not. Someone was trying to sell that domain for fucking thousands. I assume it was one of these asshole listeners. So, thanks for listening. We'll hopefully do more of these. Let me know if you like the intro that we put together. I was allowed to use it by Tristan Ellerick, the music fella from Bug Fables. It's a very good game. You should buy it. Spend money on it. It's cool. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye. And also, I'm still sorry I forgot about whales.